Barry, let's talk about the new hotel. You guys are expanding in some new places, but let's start in New York, in particular, one hotel in Brooklyn. How excited are you about this?
I'm really excited. It's the third One Hotel, and this past January, Wallpaper magazine voted the One Central Park as the best new urban hotel in the world, which was fantastic. We beat a whole bunch of Four Seasons and Mandarin Orientals. But this is the first new build one in the world. And we got to build it from scratch. We built it in an irreplaceable site right on the river just south of the Brooklyn Bridge with this unbelievable panoramic.
We're looking at it now. It's amazing.
Panoramic. That's the view from the room. And it's really exciting to do a hotel that is this beautiful in a city this important, in a neighborhood this exciting.
Yeah.
And it's been voted, USA Today said, the #1 new neighborhood in the country. So
that's the question is, I certainly wasn't looking at real estate 10 years ago, but I think if you had talked to somebody that was, then they'd say Brooklyn is a very sort of up and coming. It is a place with a lot of growth potential for real estate. How does that market look now? Are you going to be able to fetch the same prices you would with a luxury hotel in Manhattan?
No, we're not really trying to get luxury, maybe. I mean, we'll see how much people like it. It has everything you could possibly want, and it's only a 5-minute ferry ride from the South Street Seaport, which is right there, right at the base of the hotel. So, no, we didn't think we'd get rates like our Baccarat Hotel in Manhattan, but we thought that Brooklyn has a thriving tech community, and up and down the pier there, and I visited so many companies that are growing rapidly. And then you have the Barclays Center and all the entertainment, so we hope to capture these people when they come and stay. I mean, Brooklyn hasn't seen a hotel like this. Actually, I haven't seen a hotel like this, and I was chairman and CEO of Starwood Hotels for 10 years. So I've done a lot of hotels. I've done a lot of W hotels, and this is the most exciting new hotel I've ever done, I think.
When I think about Brooklyn right now, it's getting to the point where there's an ad that I hear all the time on the radio that is, buy Brooklyn properties. It almost feels like it's kind of reached a fever pitch in some sense. How do you feel about the growth potential that remains with real estate in Brooklyn?
I think the millennials have found Brooklyn, and it's gotten critical mass now. There are great restaurants and stores, and it's almost like, I lived in Soho, it's almost like a clean Soho. Yeah. And there's a lot of construction, a lot of, they're probably overbuilt in the apartment sector, but in the hotel space, I think as these businesses grow, they'll need for places, more convenient places for people to stay. We will certainly be the nicest hotel in Brooklyn. And we have a big ballroom space. We have a spa, so we can make a weekend destination. You can leave Manhattan and come to visit us. And the spa is amazing. It's from England. And this lady, Bamford, who's the queen of organic. And she's doing the spa. She's so excited to be associated with us. She's opened her first spa in the United States just last month in our hotel in South Beach, the One South Beach. And we'll have a gym, we'll have great trainers, you're right on the park, you can go for a 6-mile run on the park, jump in the river if you want, and take a swim, and then come back and we'll dry you off.
Jumping in the river might be a little ambitious. But you mentioned the tech community in Brooklyn. I think that's interesting, because you look at the new announcements for One Hotel, Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, Sanya, China, Silicon Valley, and Brooklyn. What do all those places have in common?
Opportunistic. I mean, really, we owned a site in Cabo on the harbor, and we had built a residential project next door. We wanted to do a hotel here, and we partnered with a local who's doing it for us. And, you know, I wanted to do a one resort. Sanya is also a resort destination, and it's in China. It's actually with the owner of the Baccarat Hotel. He saw the one and loved it so much, they decided to convert the hotel that he was sort of going to build in Sanya, which is kind of a Cancun destination for Chinese. A lot of the brands are there. We'll do something really extraordinary, really celebrate clean living and life and all that's good in nature. So, and then Sunnyvale, well, I'm not sure you could find a place that's more in tune with being green than California, the state, and then the community of very, and they'll love our farm-to-table restaurants and our dedication local community. And we've actually met with Google, which owns all the buildings, or is leasing all the buildings around us, and they're super excited to have us. So we're excited to get that hotel built. That's an undersupplied market. So all these projects, while important, they all have to stand on their own their own feet from a financial standpoint. And we think all these places will succeed. And then we want to do Los Angeles and Seattle, Denver, Atlanta, Portland, Chicago, the major gateway cities, many of the places that I expanded W to from New York.
Undersupplied specifically in the Silicon Valley area, around the tech
Very
city?
undersupplied in hotels. You know, they have a real problem with hotel rooms during the week. And you know, I'm friends with the people at Rosewood, and they built the Rosewood on Sand Hill Road, and I think they thought they'd get like $300 to $400 a night, and they're doing twice that, if you can get a room. So
Let's talk a place that doesn't seem undersupplied, and that's New York and Manhattan. We just ran a story in Bloomberg that's really incredible for anybody that's looked for a nicer end apartment. Realtors are giving away rent. They're giving away gift cards. They're giving away. It's almost kind of humorous in some senses.
Rental market.
How long is that a sustainable method, those concessions, until you have to sort of structurally lower rents?
It's going to be a while. I mean, there's a ton of supply coming on. Brooklyn, Long Island City, Manhattan, all high end and all above the affordability that millennials can do today. So it's going to be a while before New York City's rental market straightens out. You know, the hotel market's also overbuilt in Manhattan, and it's compounded by the strength of the dollar and the fact that a lot of high-end travelers have stopped coming. There's between scares of travel and also, again, the strength of the dollar. The Russians left the market. Some of the Chinese have stopped coming. It's a little harder to get out, or they don't want to show their wealth.
Capital outflows starting to affect that?
Well, the corruption scandal is more important. You know, these people are coming and buying apartments. Now they have to tell everybody where the money's from. That scared both some Arab and Asian investors from the market. So the New York City residential market is a really tough market right now. It's struggling. And I think one thing you haven't asked me, which you should ask me, is about Airbnb, which also added, you know, something people doing with their units is they're renting them on Airbnb. So I think for today, for a hotel, you have to decommoditize yourself. It's not going to be, you're not going to be able to just do a hotel room and ride the market up and down with the classic brands that there are so many of them, you know, whether it's a Hilton Garden or a Courtyard. I mean, one is really about who you are, your lifestyle. That's why we're doing all the amenities. We have the ballroom, which is unusual in a hotel this size, a beautiful ballroom, pre-meetings function space, the spa, there's a screening room, the gym, the restaurant, the neighborhood cafe, and we have virtually everything you could put in a 200-room hotel.
Right.
So, and the best features of that property we haven't spoken about are the roof. There's a panoramic view of the Manhattan skyline with a bar, fire pits. I mean, I think it'll be the #1 scene in the tri-state area. We'll have how to figure out how to keep people out of there.